Okay, we are going to cover, this is 2.4, writing in point slope form. So point slope form is just an easy form to use to get to slope intercept form. Easiest when you're given 2 points or a point and a slope. So this first example, we're given a slope and a point. Our slope is 3 and our point is -3, 4. We're going to drop those in to our equation. Our equation here is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where x1, y1 is just some point we know, like this point here. Remember, every ordered pair is x comma y, and m is our slope. So here I'm going to go y minus y1 here is 4 equals m, our slope is 3, and then x minus x1 is -3, so minus a negative is plus 3. Okay, anytime you have minus a negative, you change it to a plus sign. Now, we're going to solve this for y, but really we can graph this from what we have right here. We have a point to start with, so I'm going to go to -3, 4, and put a point, and then my slope is 3, so I'm going to go up 3 over 1, because your slope is rise over run. If it's a whole number, we put it over 1. And I can do that as many times as I want. So up 3 over 1 puts me here. And there's my line. Now, we still want to be able to put this in slope-intercept form, and that's just solving for y. Okay? So we're going to start by distributing the 3 here. So that gives me y minus 4 equals 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. And then I'm going to add the 4 over to get y alone. And that gives me y equals 3x plus 13. All right. Next one, we're given 2 points. Once again, I can graph it. If I have 2 points, I can go to -5, 4, and put a point. I can go to 3, -2, and put a point. So there's my line, but we still need to be able to write the equation. So I'm going to plug in, I can plug in my y1 and my x1, but first I need to calculate my slope. So my slope here is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, just the change in y over the change in x. So here, y2 would be -2 minus the first y is 4 over x2 would be 3 minus x1 would be -5. Minus a negative, change to a plus sign. So remember, this is x1, y1, x2, y2. And as long as you can label your point, you just have to plug it in. Here we get -2 minus 4 is -6 over 8. And then we can reduce that down to -3 over 4 because we can divide both of these numbers by 2. Once I have that, I'm ready to just plug in y1 we said was 4. And x minus x1 we said was -5. So minus a negative would be plus 5. All right. And we are going to solve for y. So we're going to distribute. So that gives me y minus 4 equals -3/4 x. And then we want -3/4 times 5, which is going to be -15/4. Okay. And then if you don't like this, you can change it to decimal as an option. Also, when you add this over, you can just use your calculator. Add the 4 to both sides. So if I take negative 15 over 4, and I'm going to add 4 to it, I get 1/4, or 0.25. And then I'm going to bring everything else down. So there I am. Y equals negative 3/4 x plus 1/4. So this looks logical because it crosses at about 1/4 here. And from one point to the next, I go down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down 1, 2, 3, go over 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 3 over 4. I'm going to keep hitting that line. All right, so we find slope if we don't have it already, plug it in, plug in our point, and solve for y. Let's try one more. Okay. Says, so the first month the company was open, it had 2 employees. At the end of the 6th month, the company had 10 employees. If the number of employees increases at a steady rate, write an equation that illustrates the situation. So the first month, time is almost always going to be your x. If you have time in a problem, it's going to represent x. So my time is 1 for the first month, and in the first month, they had 2 employees. Now, my second x value, still want it to be time. The other time is 6 months and 10 employees. Okay, so all we had to do was pull out those 2 points, and now we're ready to do it just like we did the last one. We're going to calculate slope. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, labeling x1, y1, x2, y2. y2 is going to be 10 minus y1 is 2 over x2 is 6 minus 1. Okay, so 10 minus 2 and 6 minus 1. So we've got 8/5. And we have x minus our x1 was 1. Our y1 was 2. Okay, so that gives me y minus 2 equals 8/5 times x minus 8/5. Okay, and then all we need to do from here is add the 2 over. Once again, if you're not comfortable with the fraction, just use your calculator. So I'm going to take negative 8/5 plus 2. And you can get 0.4, or as a fraction, it would be 2/5. So we're going to get y equals 8/5 x plus 2/5. And we are done. And that is all there is to it. Let me know if you need help. Remember that you're doing odds on the new stuff and all on the review problems.